sidebar. Pretty women, fast cars, toting toasters. Better watch who you get close to, cause a nigga could be after your throne. People always testing the strong. Best believe one step in his own. I'm a wise guy. Keeping it quiet with bullshit that rise. Everything kept on the hush. Some shit ain't never discussed. Loose lips can get you locked up, carried away.
Only troops that pay dues know where you stay.
I didn't see the poles running where people lay. Sitting on about a key. I can't let that shit happen to me. Never stash out when you crash out. Gotta be quick on your feet.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is that time again. Welcome back to the KingAndEyeLife podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Touch of the Poet, and my brother,
So Lex.
Ladies and gentlemen, how the hell are y'all, man? I mean, what's good? What's up with you, man?
Oh man, everything's good, bro. Everything's good.
I know that's right.
How's your day going?
My day is going pretty good, man. Just came from physical therapy, ran a little bit. I thought I was looking at the damn time. I was like, damn, it's 6:50. I got to get home. I was like, damn it, man.
These things happen. They happen.
Oh, yeah. But other than that, everything all good.
That's what's up. So we would like to first put this out here that we borrowed these topics from other podcast creators, and we all respect these podcast creators and we thank them for the work that they're doing. Again, as we go through these topics, we will be listing the podcast name of the show that we borrowed the topic from. So again, we borrowed, but we're going to give credit for the people who came up with them.
Not only that, we have to give a big shout out to all of them because we definitely respect them, definitely love the work that they do, definitely appreciate them having us on their platforms.
For sure.
And connecting and bridging the gap and supporting each other and everything like that. But these topics, these talking points that we're going to be discussing. It's stuff that's been out there all over the place. But some of them I've been a part of or watched, and I've enjoyed the conversations that they've had. But we want to discuss them on our end and give our perspective. And, hopefully, I tagged them all on Instagram. So, hopefully some of them will swing by and chop it up with us.
For sure. So again, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. You can find us on all of your major podcast platforms. We're on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. We out here. And Facebook too. Thank you.
Yeah, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Definitely, if you want to send us some topics, feedback, and all that other good stuff, email us. The email address below, KingAndEye369@gmail.com. Go check our website out. You can find the links to all our audio episodes, our videos. The guest registration you can find on there, and what else? You can find the link to my books on Amazon, 3 of them out there. So definitely go check that out. And that's what we got. Oh, wait a minute, Jennesis. Wait a minute. Let me send you that link again. All right, try that. Hopefully that'll work. Yes. My YouTube cousin, Book of Jennesis. But yeah, man. Crazy times that we in these days.
Yes, they are very crazy. don't seem like they're gonna be returning to the
Man,
normal
let me go ahead.
anytime soon. So
Post a link in the chat. But man, what else is going on? This whole Ukraine thing still rocking.
yeah.
Other than that, ain't nothing else going on. While we waiting for my YouTube cousin Jennesis to jump in here. What else is new? Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Still, go get your tickets for the Purple Gala. Support domestic violence. What is it? October 8th, I think.
Yes, sir. October 8th.
Yeah, the week Columbus Day weekend. It's for a good cause, so definitely jump on that. Go on to Eventbrite and look up Purple Gala, and you will find that info.
And the theme this year is who has the golden ticket?
Yes.
Hey.
Well, what's up,
I don't
cousin
know what was
Jennesis?
happening.
What
I
else?
tried from the messages again, and it
ladies
still
and
didn't go. I had
gentlemen. Really?
Yeah.
Go get your tickets for the Purple Gala. I think we got a little feedback on your end.
Oh, hang on.
Domestic violence.
Okay, there we go.
All right, there we go. Well, welcome.
Hey,
Hey,
Glad
how's it
you
going?
could join us. Yes, my YouTube cousin.
yes.
I think when you said that I was your cousin before, I think some people took that for real.
They did take that for real. They're
That
like,
is
that's your
so.
cousin, right? I'm like, yeah, that's my internet cousin. It sure is.
Oh my goodness! But hey, we'll rock with it.
How y'all doing tonight?
Oh man, we fabulous. What about yourself?
I am good now that I'm able to join the stream.
Yes. I mean,
Excellent,
I was like, whoo. She said her link ain't working. I was like, wait a minute.
Yes, I've been trying to get on since like 6:25. It
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
working. I kept trying it. Even when you just sent it to me again, it still didn't work. I had to join from the YouTube link that you dropped in the chat.
Oh wow, that's the same link that I sent you.
Well, I don't know then.
Modern technology. What can you
Well,
say?
I'm here now. We about to rock it out.
Yes, we about to rock it out.
What we talking about tonight?
So Lex, you want to read the
Sure. So we gathered some questions from the YouTube streets, as they say.
Okay.
Topics are swirling as well as emotional thoughts and reactions to many of today's hot button events. We are going to dive into questions that we pulled from some of our favorite content creators.
Okay.
Some of these topics we covered or relate to,
Yeah.
or the questions were posed in a way that we didn't think to look at.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know where to start. But everybody's that we snatched these questions from, these talking points from, their links, their YouTube channel links are in the description. So go ahead and support them because they're all phenomenal. But since you joined us, we're going to start with one that was on your last show.
Uh-oh.
And that is, why do women who make more than men see the man as a project?
I think because I'm not going to say in all cases.
as we have to put that disclaimer out there.
In a lot of cases, the woman has found her success because she's done the work.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, she's gone to school, got her degree, if she's an entrepreneur, she started her business, or, in the workplace, she's climbed her way to the top of the corporate ladder, or she's climbing her way to the top of the corporate ladder. And then undoubtedly, in many of those cases, those women wind up single and viewed as the independent woman. And then once they're out in the dating world, the pool of available men, I'm not gonna put attach a race to it, but
Okay.
the pool of available men may not be equal or higher counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
So then it said that that woman has to settle for, or I don't want to say settle because I don't want to be offensive to anybody. That woman has to explore other options as far as men who may earn less than she does.
Mm.
And in many of those cases, that man who earns less than her, he has squandered years in his 20s or maybe, early 30s, and then mid to late 30s, 40s, he's trying to get it together. Then he meets her.
Mm.
He still hasn't arrived where he probably could have been if he had gotten started, right fresh out of college or early 20s. So then now, in order to get him to the level that she's at, she's got to help him.
Mm.
So then he becomes a project.
So Lex, you got anything? Because I'm trying to, because you said something, and I'm trying to formulate my question right. Okay, so you said the woman gets to a place, and correct me if I'm following you wrong. The woman gets to a place, she goes to college, this, that, and the other, and she has a guy, but then she ends up single. That's what you were saying?
No, sometimes these women, like if they're focused on their career and they're not really focused on dating.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there was a woman yesterday that I talked to that this was her story. She had focused on her career, right out of college, worked her way up the corporate ladder, and she had never been married, didn't have any children.
Mm-hmm.
So now that she was comfortable in the place where she was in her career, she was looking for love. So when she's looking for love, then the men who were her equal counterpart were already attached, already married in relationships. Single guys may have, just been getting themselves together. They screwed up their credit in their 20s, so now they got to rebuild their credit. They may have gotten in trouble, made some bad decisions when they were younger, got derailed, were out in the streets doing whatever, chasing, women.
Mm-hmm.
And now that they're older and settled, they're trying to get themselves together. So then she comes to date. Well, these are the men that are approaching her who seemingly may be good guys, but they're just not on the same level that she is. And then, and I've heard this as well, they always come with well, you got to build something together. Well, why do we have to build something together if I've already built mine separately? I came into the situation with my stuff built. I've already established my foundation. So now why do I have to help you with yours? Well, I'm a pass and you come back after you got your foundation built and then we can talk.
So like,
okay.
Y'all were dumb.
We all know that, there's obviously another side to that equation, meaning
absolutely
the flip side, but we're not talking about that.
Okay.
I think when women have gained a certain level of success, is definitely, a game changer for them, because they, like you said, they've done the work, they've done, put in the extra hours, as they say, and they've stayed focused, meaning they didn't make the crazy decisions that some of their counterparts may have.
Right.
So with that being said, I don't think a woman taking on a project, meaning someone who's not exactly on her level, is a bad thing.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's kind of like you said, you want to stay with someone that's in your own level or your own category. Again, not
Similar
trying to
mindset.
offend anyone, not trying,
Similar
not trying
mindset. Right.
to offend anyone, but again, I just think that when, whether it be male or female, when you've reached a certain amount of success in your life, you
Mhm.
don't want to go down. It's- and I'm not saying that anyone who doesn't make as much money as you do is beneath you,
Right.
but it does give you something of a crutch because
Mhm.
you may love this person, you want to see this person do well, but it's kind of like you have to pause just a little bit to help them catch up.
Right. Right.
So that part right there, I can see why some women feel like they just don't want to do it, meaning
Right.
take on the challenge of helping someone come up to their level from a financial standpoint.
Mhm. And on the flip side of that, when it's the woman and, the man is a higher earner,
Mhm.
then he has different standards for the women.
Right.
They automatically come to the women with the question, well, what do you bring to the table? Well, why is there, you're not saying that you're going to help build her when it's the woman who's in that situation. They want the woman to already be put together. But then when the women are the higher earner, then it's no, you can't have the man, or you shouldn't want the man that's already put together. You
Mm,
have to, you have to help this guy get to where he needs to be. Otherwise, you're not down for him. You're not a ride or die. No,
mm.
we riding and we dying.
Yeah. When this question was posed on your show, I knew and know that there's so many layers to it, but there are so many layers to it. Um, I was reading something a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months ago, and this whole thing of men asking women what do you bring to the table,
Hmm.
that should not even be a question that's presented in a relationship because that is a business term. So I would prefer, I know, but I have no say so, but I would prefer if that was removed from the whole equation.
Hmm.
It should be looked at as how can you help better my life. But with that being said,
Hmm.
um, yes, men look at women in a different way as being put together. But the sad part, it depends on the male, not the man. It depends on the male. But as far as women, it kind of not to put women down, but it seems like women are more or too laser focused when they're achieving, whereas us as men, we have to multitask in that arena. It's like we have to, because if we don't, the pickings get slim as we move forward. Um, Not saying that I mean women have that same issue too, but for us, it's like we got to get the chickens while they spring chickens, because once we start getting up in age, it's like we have a lot to deal with. Now, I imagine for women, when looking at men who are not at the same level of them, whether it's mentally, financially, or emotionally, I'm sure it's trying. But the one thing that I looked at, the one thing I look at when it comes to this, um, whether it's a male or female who's the high earner,
Hmm.
that person who probably earns less
Hmm.
may be a project, so to speak, all the way around, because at the end of the day, we're looking for a partner that balances us. And
Right.
I guess we have to look at what balance is in every individual situation.
Hmm. I mean, I agree with you as far as the project all around. Whether it's we should leave the gender out of it. You know, if they don't have their stuff together, whether they're a male or a female, they just don't have their stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and both sides should be working to try to be a an asset to a relationship or a marriage rather than a liability.
Right.
If somebody has to drag you along, then, you know, that's kind of hindering them from, you know, progressing at a faster pace.
True.
Right. Yeah. I'm not team marriage or team single. I feel like people, hey, you do whatever you do to make you happy.
Right.
Now, when it comes to this project thing,
Mhm.
and I think this was brought up on your show.
Okay.
How long should an individual deal with this project before they say this project is taking too long to come to fruition?
Ooh. I don't know. I say it's gonna sound harsh, but I say leave the projects alone.
Mm,
You know, get yourself together. If you don't have, you know, if there's stuff that you need to work on, then that needs to be your focus. Focus on getting you together and then worry about a relationship or a marriage after that.
I think the thing about it is, again, whether it's the male or the female in the relationship, both people got to invest.
mhm.
Unfortunately, sometimes that does require a little bit of a financial investment. Meaning, if one person may want to start a business or something along that line,
Mhm.
you really have to weigh your options and decide, you know, is this person worth my investment?
Mhm.
Because again, I think when it comes to long-term relationships, it's one of those things you're investing time, you're investing money, you're investing emotions. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Mhm.
So again, if someone is just not in your field, that's something you definitely gotta, you know, take into consideration. Like,
Mhm.
do I want to slow my path or my road down in order to help this person at least come close to the neighborhood I'm in,
Mhm.
and then proceed from there? But I find nothing wrong with someone saying, you know, right now you're not where I'm comfortable with you being,
Mhm.
and saying, you know, I need to pass on you.
Mm.
Yeah, but then when they do that, at least I've heard when women do that, you know, oh, she's being too picky. She needs to
Yeah.
lower her standards. She set the bar too high. You know, it becomes a negative thing for us. And I think there's a double standard when it comes to that because the same isn't said about men.
I disagree.
Okay.
Respectfully disagree.
Okay.
Because um so we are in this social media age to where it is so ridiculously biased and toxic that it really doesn't matter because um women can be said they're too picky, men can be accused of being too picky or this, that, and the other. um but I think a lot of people ignore a few basics, and that is that person mentally, emotionally, and physically capable of building a relationship with you? And
Mhm.
that's not even bringing in the finances and stuff like that. I mean, I think people miss those things and they looking for the vanity in the person or the status that this person can bring to them instead of having a real strong foundation in real substantive life.
I have a little bit of pushback on that. Um, and I was on the show last night and
Hmm.
it really bothered me because they said that the look shouldn't matter, you know. And
Mm.
I get, you know, don't be extra superficial, you
Right.
know. You don't have to be looking for the supermodel
Mhm.
or the, Mr. Universe competitor. None of that. But there's in YouTube, social media, in general, I think they push the narrative too often that, in order to find somebody who is successful or has their stuff together, then they're not going to be attractive. And I
Mm.
think you can find both. I think you can find that, you can find a woman who is intelligent as
Mhm.
well as beautiful. You can find a man who is intelligent as well as handsome.
Right.
Why do we have to compromise? And I make jokes of it, like if God don't like ugly, why I gotta like it? You know, I mean, if I'm looking at somebody, if I'm with somebody, I want to be looking at somebody that I'm attracted to,
Right.
because we are visual. Men are visual and women are as well, so why do we have to forget that?
Mhm.
Because if I'm with this person that I'm not attracted to, then I think you open the door for, temptation. If
Right.
somebody does come around that you
Mhm.
find attractive, and let's say that person is attractive and they're intelligent, or,
Mhm.
they've achieved the same level of success that you have, and maybe the person you're with hasn't,
Mhm.
then your mind is going to wander.
Yeah.
I think it's just an invitation for the devil, and I'm not with it at
Yeah.
all.
I can agree with you, but my thing, more my thing is like, um, the person just has to be physically, mentally, and emotionally available.
Right.
Um, yes, they have to be pleasant on the eyes, and they have to be productive person, to
Mhm.
a decent capacity. Um, I just kind of the other thing about it is when some women, especially on YouTube and stuff, when they say this about a man being a project because he makes less or whatever the case may be, they put it in such a degrading way that it's like, well, damn, where your stand is at? Because just because, of course, worst case scenario is this guy has squandered his life in the 20s and early 30s, and now he's finally hitting 40 and he's just now getting it together. Yes, that can be worst case scenario for some dudes.
Mhm.
But when you look at it, some women look at a man who makes less as a project, but like he probably really has it together. It's just that financially, she may be making 20, 30,000 more than him.
And I think the numbers matter also.
Mhm.
I'm just going to use six figures. If she's
Okay.
making six figures and he's at 80, then I think that's a different scenario
Mhm.
than she's at six figures and he's making 25,000.
Yeah.
There, there's an extreme difference. And I think that women would probably be accommodating for, you know, a man who earns less if
Mhm.
we're talking about numbers like that. But
Right.
if,
Right.
she's six figures and, he's flipping burgers at McDonald's, no, no, we can't do that.
Nah. Yeah. And that kind of, and then on the other side, that's funny because it's like men are expected to be okay with that scenario when it comes to a
They
woman.
shouldn't. They shouldn't. Women
Yeah, they
need to
should.
show up being more than just pretty.
Yeah.
Because you're performing like a porn star in the bed doesn't make you wifey material. It just doesn't. You got to bring more to the table than that.
Yeah.
But another thing about it though is it's a gamble. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like anytime you enter into a relationship, it's a gamble. Whether that person's on your level or not on your level. It's one of those things you just gotta throw the dice out there and see how they roll.
They are, but are we more willing to dig our heels in and work for somebody who we know is, maybe on the right track, or, because nobody is perfect.
Right.
Nobody is going to be perfect. We're going to have to compromise in some way. But
Mhm.
I think we would be uh more inclined to work with somebody. The example we used, a woman who's making $100,000, she may be inclined to work dig her heels in with the guy who's making 80. The guy who's making 30,000, no, you can't be broke and toxic. You
Yeah.
gotta choose your struggle.
Yeah. That is the true definition of a project right
It's
there.
true.
Yeah, can't do the drama.
But you'll have those guys, that will shoot their shot at those women. And then if she turns them down, then, it's no, her expectations are too high. She's stuck up, or she's this or that. Then then now all these derogatory terms or labels are attached to her because she's not willing to settle for somebody who hasn't done the work.
Right. Yeah.
Now get yourself together and then come back and shoot your shot at that woman. And her reaction or response to your advances may be different.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can't even dispute that one.
True.
Yeah.
So we've done. Fellas, if you can hold the conversation really quick. I got to take a quick commercial break and I will be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. That was yeah. I could dig it. I just think too often in these spaces, when some women are talking about this, they really go at the throat of dudes. But like Jennesis said, if she's making 100, he's making 25, 30, 40, 50. Yeah.
But again, that's the thing, though. Like when me and you were talking about it, was it the other night? And I was telling you a friend of mine she's very successful in her own right.
Mm-hmm.
And she started dating someone fresh off the block, as they say, or fresh out the pen, if you want to be direct about it. And it was kind of like, why are you with this dude, man? You are way more successful. Like, he's not even in your league. But that was her choice. So I think it all comes down to, again, choices. Yeah, the pickings may be slim, but what's there? And we're not talking about staying in one category, meaning, one race of people. Is pretty much an open range right now.
Yeah. For those of y'all tuning in, we are chatting it up, questions from the YouTube streets. Make sure y'all hit that like, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification. We got my YouTube cousin just Jennesis in here with us. When she comes back, we're gonna jump on the next one. What you thinking we want to jump on next?
I think the Kim Kardashian situation that she set Kanye up. And that was by Red Lipstick Vibes.
Yes. Man, I think that's gonna be an interesting one. But yeah, make sure y'all hit that notification bell, like, subscribe, share, tune in. The link is in the comments if y'all want to jump in with us. Yeah, we just chopping it up.
So what do you think about couples who are in competition with each other, meaning from a financial situation or how many awards can I get type of situation?
Healthy competition or just straight out battle?
Out competition?
I think they need to check that at the door. I mean, if it's a healthy competition because we have a specific goal that we want to reach, I think that's cool. But if they both have this mentality of you not going to outdo me and they get ugly, I don't think that's healthy.
No, I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. I mean,
I don't see a benefit of being in competition with your mate.
Nah.
I mean, I know couples who do that.
Really?
But for me, I don't see any benefit in it.
You know people that actually do that?
Yes.
And they're happy?
I can't call that relationship. I'm not finna speak on it. like for instance, this one particular couple that I know, right? They're both into cars. And she's always doing some shit to her car, or the next thing you know, she might be flipping it up, going to get another car, and he be doing the same damn thing that she does. And I'm like,
wow.
how do that add up? Like, there's nothing wrong with loving cars, nothing at all. But why do it have to be a competition? Like, if he come with 12, she want to come with 15s.
Oh, wow.
If he show up with 20, she want to come with 22s. So on and so forth. Like,
yeah, I'm not competing with my spouse. I'm not doing that.
I don't have time for it.
I am not doing that. That is out of the entire question. Like, nah. I don't even see why. That's crazy.
It is.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and jump on the next?
Yeah, we can go jump on that while she's on.
So did Kim Kardashian set Kanye up for failure?
And this is from Red Lipstick Vibes.
Yes, indeed.
I guess I'm a little biased when it comes to this because for me, I've had my punk days, weak dude days, however you want to call them. And I have to say no because at the end of the day, you gotta be a man and move like a man and you know you gotta operate on a certain level, and you should go ahead because go ahead.
I'll put it to you like this: I don't believe she set him up because again, when he was in debt by 100 and some million, she wrote that check. And without her writing that check, his ass would probably still be in debt. But she wrote the check, and now he's a billionaire. And of course, their relationship has changed, meaning they are no longer together and going through a nasty divorce from what the public is seeing. But again, I have to agree with you when you say he has to be a man about it, meaning chasing behind someone who's clearly showing you they don't want you. You are not being a man about it at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being in love and, hurting after someone that you do love or truly love leaves you. But at the same time, again, you got to put on your big boy pants and move on. But one thing I will say is he's checked into rehab to a certain degree. I guess you can put that. But that's a step in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. Because he's recognizing, okay, my mental health is not the best right now. So let me take care of that first before I continue to move on with my life.
Poetic Justice says if he didn't learn from the first 3 black men, then he did it to himself. What first 3 black men? But in any event, at some point in your life as a man, I don't know. I guess you just gotta learn how to move. Oh man. Okay. I got you.
Yeah, see the picture
I
now.
got you. I got you. How do I look at that? First and foremost, had I paid attention to the outcome or the income or whatever come of the first 3 that she had, I don't think I would have dealt with her. So I probably would. Well, let me walk that back a little bit. I probably would have smashed if I could. But as far as marrying her, I don't think I could have did that part. But even still, you say he was in debt?
Yeah,
And
he was in debt.
All right, so I think she's a weirdo for even rocking with that situation. And that probably goes back into the first question. It's like she on top, he $100 million in debt. That's a project. That's a whole project. And yeah. Yeah, track record from I mean, yeah, it's kind of trash from our perspectives. But I honestly don't think that. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But as far as I personally, even with her track record, I can't with good conscience say she set him up for failure. And I look at it like this. If a woman pulls you out of debt $100 million, then she did something good for you. But I guess with his antics and stuff, I can't say that she set him up to failure when I look at his antics, because a lot of the stuff that he has been doing has been off the charts. Whether it's because he's dealing with some type of mental issues or whatever the case may be. That's something that he as a man should, address. But I don't know. I don't know if I could honestly say she set him up. What about you?
No, again, I don't think that she set him up. If anything, I think she propped him up.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, he was not a billionaire prior to meeting her and marrying her and starting dealing with her.
Mm-hmm.
The debt situation came in after they were married, meaning that it was building up before they got married, and then he was
the
trying
band broke afterwards.
Yeah. So again, she propped him up on that one, but not taking anything away from him. But at the end of the day, you did choose her.
Yeah.
You chose her as your wife, as your mate, and the mother of your kids. So you chose her to be your wife. Now, do I agree with the tactics that she's taking as far as like you being involved with your kids? I can't say I agree with that. But again, I'm not her. I don't know what the inside situation is. She obviously doing what she's doing for her reasons. So I don't think she set him up for failure. He kind of set himself up for failure.
Yeah.
Because if he had gone and gotten the medical attention or the psychiatrical attention that they needed prior to them going their separate ways, who knows? They probably would still be together.
Well, Poet just says he fell for the okie doke. Since his mom passed away, he has been mentally unstable. I can agree with that, and to add on to that, he did what a lot of dudes end up doing, and I've kind of did this stupid shit in my life at times. trying to sex or relationship myself through pain. Um, hey.
Hey, y'all. Sorry for that.
Nah, it's fine.
Multitasking tonight. Okay,
That's
now
fine.
I am totally free.
All right.
Jeez.
But like I said, like in my life, I have sexed and relationship myself through pain, and I just feel like that's what Kanye did. And I think that had he taken a step back and got himself to a point where he was somewhat whole, I think he could have maneuvered better.
Y'all talking
agree with
about
that.
Kim Kardashian. Did Kim Kardashian set Kanye up for failure?
What are your thoughts?
Whew. I don't know that she set him up for failure. This is my opinion, and I might be wrong. I think we see a different Kanye post his mother's passing
Right.
than we did before.
Mhm.
That whole grief process, I've been there, so I know that that can be a difficult space to navigate. And I think he's struggling or has struggled a bit. Um, and I don't know where he is. I think it's a different person now. I think maybe the experience changed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Because prior to his mother passing, Kanye was doing his thing, no doubt.
Yeah.
And he's done extremely well, even though he's faced that type of adversity. But again, like you said, the person he was prior to his mother's passing and the
Mhm.
person he is now are damn near two different people.
Right. Different people.
So it definitely mentally took its toll on him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is a detrimental thing for a lot of people. I know we like to say that this is a thing in our community, but it's a detrimental thing for a lot of people. And again,
It's meaning the death.
no, dealing
Oh,
with grief and
oh
getting that
yeah.
help.
Yeah.
But I just, as I've gotten older, I've looked at some of the things that I've done, and I look at other people, and I don't know if I'm being selfish, rigid, ignorant, or to people's situations, but I know grief is hard,
Mm-hmm.
but grief as it pertains to recovering and getting back to a stable plane in life, I don't understand why it's that damn hard.
It is. I I'll share a little bit of my story. I don't know, how much of it Soul Toucher, but last year I lost my fiance and my mom within 3 months of
Mhm.
each other.
Oh, sorry.
And it was one of the hardest times of my life. Probably, I'm sure that because they were so close in time, it,
Right.
kind of exaggerated it.
Mhm.
But when you don't expect it, and I that's where I sympathize with
Mhm.
Kanye. His mom went to have a plastic surgery, and it wasn't a positive outcome. For me, uh, both of the deaths that I experienced were due to COVID.
Mhm.
Both people, uh, fairly healthy, no pre-existing conditions, and when you see people who are healthy, and not saying that, it makes it any better when somebody is sick, but you can understand it a little bit more if it's a person who's had, if they've battled with cancer for years, but you see them healthy. With my fiance, within 13 days
Mhm.
from beginning to end.
Mhm.
Um, and, you see a person that's vibrant and full of life, and next thing you know, they're sick with, in their cases, what appeared to be a cold or flu. and then you find out that, it's much worse. Um, that's the hard part
Mhm.
because you don't get to prepare for life without them.
Right.
you know, and right after you're thinking, those regular things that you're missing out on,
Mm.
whether it's you making phone calls to them or their phone calls to you, or, conversations that you had, or, God, the whole, going through their personal effects is a whole other thing.
Right.
And it's life hits you so hard and so fast that, you don't get a chance to, like, grab hold of anything so that you can get your bearing and fight the storm. It's just, it just kind of whoosh, knocks you out. And then it's like, okay, well, first I got to try and get up.
Mhm.
But then after I get up, then what do I do?
Right.
The getting up is the hardest part. There were days where I didn't want to get out of bed.
Mhm.
It's like, well, what do I get up and do? Because life as I knew it is something totally different. And you don't really know, you're grieving because you're sad for the loss, but then life is still happening. So it's like, wait, hold on. I need a moment. I wasn't ready.
Mhm.
You know, I need a moment to get my thoughts together, but then adulting still has to happen.
Mhm.
And finding the balance between both, you don't have it. And once if you keep adulting, if don't, in my case, luckily, I was able to keep going and do, what I needed to do. Um, Even though there were days that I didn't want to get out of bed, but I couldn't imagine, and I faked it a lot of days.
Mhm.
I had to get up and keep going even though I didn't feel like getting up. You
Mm.
know, I very easily could have, stayed in bed or closed myself off from the world and just sat with my thoughts and the feelings and, the memories and, having that moment for I don't know how long,
Mm.
and then people don't really know what to say to you. So you're already like conflicted emotionally, physically, your body goes through a thing because, there are times where, you're in your grief, you forget that you haven't eaten,
Mhm.
after so long, then, your body responds to your not eating or not drinking properly, not taking proper care of yourself. And then people are, well, I know how you feeling. Well, do you really know how we're feeling?
Mm.
And as a person who's not a celebrity,
Mhm.
you know, he had to play this thing out in the public eye, cameras following you, even on a regular day, when he's not going through that. He's got to make sure he presents himself in a way so that the paparazzi, don't take advantage of that moment. So
Mm.
I just don't know what that would look like as a celebrity because it's hard as, a civil I don't want to say civilian, but it's hard as a regular person,
Right.
when nobody knows you and there aren't any cameras following you.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that celebrity part up because that was going to be like something that I wanted to throw out there to both of y'all. Being that he's a celebrity, um, and being that people look at Kim as this vile creature, this praying mantis, man eater. Um, how much do you think the celebrity plays a factor in it because she has such a negative light on her when it comes to men, and him being able to, as a celebrity, say, I need to step back, where I understand he had the weight of the world on his hands, he wasn't ready, and this, that, and the other, but there are other celebrities out there that we can look at who have gone through the same thing, sort of losing a loved one, I'll say,
Mhm.
but did not take this self-destructive path, for lack of a better term.
But do we know if he went to grief counseling? Like, that's a whole thing. Like I don't know, as a celebrity, like, do they have a safe place for somebody where they can go and talk about that thing, or do they have to worry about, you know, the person that they're talking to maybe going to the tabloids or selling the story?
Yep.
You know, I don't know. And if they don't feel that they have a safe place to talk about that, then they're trying to deal with it themselves, which, you know, in some cases isn't enough. I mean, I had to go to grief counseling,
Mhm.
and literally that's probably, you know, my faith and the grief counseling is what got me through that time. Without both of those, you know, working in tandem, I don't know where I would be.
Right.
Yeah, I just think that, again, not knowing if he went through counseling or anything of that sort, when you're trying to deal with that type of loss,
Mhm.
and then maintain your music career, maintain your fashion career, um, producer career. I mean, there are so many hats he's trying to wear and then just maintain and hold it all together.
He's
So,
got to show up to work every day with his game
yeah,
face on.
Mhm.
yep. So I think that even though he was in a different relationship at that time of his mother's passing, after that event, you saw he went through, a couple
Yep.
different changes with women. And when he came or started dating Kim, I think she brought him some type of stability,
Mhm.
because if she didn't, I don't think they would have the family that they have now. Meaning, I think they have like what, 4 kids
4
together.
kids, yeah.
Mhm.
So again, I think she brought stability to his life. She gave him sort of a sanction. Um, and again, not having all the information to say if he went through counseling or not.
Mhm.
Let's say he didn't go through counseling.
Mhm.
So through um, the sex with her, having these kids and creating a family, and still not dealing with everything as a whole, or breaking things down to deal with them,
Mhm.
the pressure that had to be or has to be tremendous.
I'm
So
sure.
I just feel
Yeah.
like, again, he's in counseling now. So if he would have did
Yeah.
it way back in the day, it would have probably saved him a whole lot of headache. But better late than never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the comment from Poetic Justice
Mhm.
Muhammad. She said many don't accept therapy or counseling. They feel they can deal with it and end up using drugs, sex, etc. And I did hear something about he was using, I think, prescription pills or something for a time.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear that.
Um, yeah, he had talked about he wanted to have some sort of, he had like some body image issues where he thought he was fat or something, and he was, you guys didn't hear that?
No.
Yeah, that was
Oh
a
my
while back.
gosh.
Yeah,
I
that was
wish
a
I
while back. I
had
remember that
I
now.
wish I had the, yeah, he thought he was fat or something like that.
Mhm.
Go figure. I don't know. But yeah, Poetic Justice, she heard it. So yeah, he had he was a little self-conscious about his body image, and he admitted that he had gotten hooked on some sort of pill or another, that he was abusing drugs, and this was all after the mom's passing. Now, I don't know what, in his professional life he was doing at that time, if he was still going to work, or, if he was abusing or what was happening, but I could very well see how it could happen, because, when that pain cuts you deep and you don't
Mm.
know, how to deal with it, you look for an escape,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm.
My escape was, going to bed and staying in the bed. Uh, thankfully, I didn't turn to drugs or alcohol or anything like that, but
Mhm.
that's not everybody's story. Some people, you know, use, some sort of crutch or vice in order
Mhm.
to navigate that painful space.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think Kim Kardashian. I think she gets a bad rap. You know,
To a degree.
that whole celebrity thing.
Yeah.
I'm just not with it because a lot of them really aren't doing anything different than what regular people do. They
Yeah.
just have a following.
Yeah.
Cameras
Yeah.
are following them, so there's documented evidence of their activities.
Yeah.
There's women out here doing much worse than Kim Kardashian,
Yeah,
Boy.
and nobody's talking about them
Don't I
because
know
they
it.
don't know them.
Right.
everybody
So
don't have a public sex tape.
right.
Some of them have private sex tapes, though.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do. Yes, they do.
Some of them have private sex tapes because I've heard all kinds of barbershop talk
Mhm.
about guys in their little tryst, and they're in the barbershop. They're sharing photos, they're sharing videos, they're
Oh
sharing
man.
stories of ladies who, nameless, faceless ladies.
Mhm.
What if their name was attached to the video and somebody shared? Well,
Mhm.
in most places it's illegal to share it, but if somebody leaked it, then they would be Kim Kardashians. And I think some of the people who are talking about Kim Kardashians have had a tape or have been recorded themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when we also look at this question of did she set him up for failure?
Mhm.
When we look at what has been transpiring since they separated, who do you? I know we can easily point the finger at both of them because they should be handling this situation more maturely.
Right.
But do you think she is being vindictive, or do you think his actions are leading her to do whatever she's doing, minus Pete Davidson? But we can't minus
Vindictive
him.
in what way?
Like, for instance, her keeping the kids from him, or whatever the case may be, and whatever else. I mean, I check out of a lot of this stuff because
Yeah.
it's like it's way above my mental sanity cap. So I just
Mhm.
check out. But I mean, all the things that we hearing and him buying a house across the street and all this other stuff.
Well, my opinion again, he's a narcissist. And I think he wants control, and that whole buying a house across the street, like that's weird. That's just weird. And I understand, you wanting to be close to your kids or have a relationship with your kids, but you're a celebrity, you're a billionaire,
Mhm.
you have access to anything, you're not, going traveling by, the city bus, you could be clear on the other side of the country and get to your kids because we know you're traveling in a private jet. You don't need to live
Right.
across the street from her. That's something else you're doing. But that's neither here nor there. But we don't know, the inner workings of that relationship. We don't know if, her withholding the kids at some time was maybe in her mind for
Mhm.
their protection. If he's had this history of, drug abuse or his behavior is questionable.
Mhm.
And, as a mom, I might try to protect my kids also if I thought it was, in their best interest.
Mm.
Not keeping them from him permanently, but, for a time. Okay, let's just get through, this period of time and then see your kids later in a couple days or whatever it is. But if
Yeah.
if he's being manipulative, and which usually narcissists are, um, that's a tricky situation,
Yeah.
it's a tricky situation. So it's, sometimes it's things you're doing to avoid falling into the trap of the narcissist.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. Um, so the next one.
Okay.
Shout out to CKQ Podcast. And the next one is Thoughts Before Becoming a Parent.
Ooh.
Who wants to go first on this one?
Ooh.
I think everybody, to a certain degree, would love to be a parent. And again, I can't say everybody, but the experience of being a parent, when you're growing up, you see yourself having kids.
Mhm.
I did.
And you think about all the things you want to do differently with your kids and all the lessons you want to teach them differently than what your parents taught you.
Mm-hmm.
I just, again, me growing up, let me speak for me. Me growing up, I wanted kids.
Mm-hmm.
I just have one, and I'm glad that I don't have any more.
That one was enough.
Yes, that is it. I might have some out there that I don't know of, but until
Uh-oh.
they show themselves, hey, I got one kid.
Okay.
But I love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Best thing ever to happen to me besides
Okay.
getting married.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I didn't want kids.
Really?
No. I thought that I would be a childless bachelorette who would be traveling the world.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I really did. I was, as a kid, I came from a two-parent household. My mother was trying to teach me, she would always say, you need come in here in the kitchen, and she would trying to teach me how to sew, how to cook, normal, cleaning. You obviously have to do that. And she would be like, well, when you get older and you have a husband and kids, you'll need to know how to do this.
Mhm.
And I was resistant. I would be like, husband and kids, what are you talking about?
Stop it.
I don't need to know how to cook. I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna make enough money. I'm gonna have a chef. I'm gonna have a housekeeper.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not gonna have to do any of that. I'm gonna send you all a postcard from wherever I am in the world. Yeah, so much for that. 4 kids later, here I am on YouTube talking to y'all. And I've had a husband or two. Well, not a husband or two. I've been married. Let me say that. Let me correct myself. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, I thought that I would be, jet setting around the world, living this, lavish life and, free and fun and fancy free. Nah.
Oh, wow. I'm
Yeah.
blown.
I did not think so. But I became a mother young. I got married young and I became a mother young. And it was the best thing that happened to me. I wouldn't trade it for the world. My kids are my motivation for life.
Mm.
Everything I do is for them, with them in mind.
Wow. I wasn't ready for you to say that you
You
didn't want
weren't ready
kids.
for me to say
I
that.
really wasn't ready for that. For me, growing up, I looked at my childhood. My childhood was, it was crazy. But I always wanted a son and a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the house, the picket fence, cat, dog, rat,
Wow.
2-car garage, all that stuff. So I planned, but I wasn't ready for my first child.
Wow.
And what I mean by that is I met his mother. She was 17. I was 19. I was on active duty Army, Fort Hood, Texas. She had a little situation going on, and I came in, knight in shining armor.
Have to save them.
Yeah. And her stepfather could not stand me.
Why
He could
not?
not. Because I was in the Army just like him.
Oh,
and he
okay.
gave me that label.
He knew that situation.
He thought he knew that situation. Well,
Okay.
kind of knew that. We were young, and because he felt so strongly against us, we were more determined
to do it.
to give him our asses to kiss. So when she got pregnant, it's like we literally, like, the day she conceived, we both said that's it right there. And a couple weeks later, she's pregnant.
Wow.
So I had all these thoughts in my head, like I'm gonna do this differently. My child's gonna grow up with a father, and blah blah blah, and all this, that, and the other. So I had all those dreams, hopes, and aspirations of being the greatest father on the planet
Mm-hmm.
until the marriage fell apart. And
So wait, you met when you were 17 and 19. Did you
Yes.
guys marry that young too?
we got married. Let me see. We actually got married right after because our birthdays is 3 days apart. So we was 20. I was 20. She was 18 when we got married. Our son was born in July of 93.
Wow.
By 94-ish, things was rocky.
Young.
By 95, we was separated. January of 96, I mailed them divorce papers to the lawyer, and that was a wrap. Then when it came to my second son, I said, I'm going to do everything different.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going to be better. I'm not going to do that wrong. I'm not going to do that wrong. I'm not going to do that wrong. I was married at the time, but the person that had my son was the side piece.
Wait. Hold on. Let me make sure. I got this. So wait, this is the marriage from the first.
This is the second marriage.
Second marriage.
This is the second marriage.
Second marriage.
Yeah.
Side piece. You get the side piece pregnant.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So.
Okay.
I was like, in what?
You was out there cutting up in the streets, huh?
I was. Look. I proudly and honestly own my BS. I do not run from my BS.
I got so many questions. Because how you gonna go out here, out in the streets, and be out there laying unprotected?
I mean,
like, oh geez, we
Can of worms
talk
right
about
now.
this. We have to talk about this.
I mean, we can talk about it now. We can talk about it later. You let me know what you want to do.
Oh my goodness, are you serious?
Yeah.
So wait, how do you have that conversation when you come back home after the side tells you that she's pregnant? I mean, what are you doing? Okay, is she gonna kill me when I tell her? How do I tell her? What do you do?
Cousin Jennesis, let me tell you something. Grab you a glass of wine right quick.
Look, I got my glass of raspberry lemonade.
All right, so check it out. I was a whole hot ass mess during that second marriage.
Clearly.
So this is what happened.
What had happened was
my marriage was a thing. I had the side piece, and
wait, hold on. Let's back up. You see how he just blows past that so my marriage was a thing. What is a thing? I did not present myself as the man that I should have been for her. I take full responsibility for that. Did not present yourself as the man you were for her. Okay.
That a man that I should have been.
But what caused you to go
outside,
to step outside the marriage? Like, I
didn't want to be married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to be married. So I was wilding out. And when I say wilding out, I was wilding out.
Yeah.
We're friends to this day. We were very good friends though.
Oh Lord, she was your friend.
No, we're friends to this day.
Nothing you could ever come and tell me after you done went out and had a baby on me. Forget you ever met me, lose my number, forget you know my name. Don't talk to my cousins. No.
Oh, okay. So let me run it down. So
okay.
I was working at a warehouse, and I met this young lady who happened to be 10 years younger than me. And she would give me the eye. I would give her the eye. She give me the eye. I give her the eye. So we hooked up, started doing our thing. I had another side piece somewhere else. And
Wait a minute. You got 2 side pieces?
look here. I told you I was a whole hot mess.
Ooh, Lord Jesus, that thing was loose.
Boy, I was looser than a good fresh new pair of dungarees.
Oh my God. Okay, you doing the thing with her. You got another side piece somewhere else.
So side piece number 2 says, I'm pregnant. And I said, it ain't mine. She said, yes, it is. I was like, okay, it ain't mine. Now, side piece number 1 says, I'm pregnant. I'm like, so what you going to do? You going to keep it? She was like, yeah, I'm going to keep it because I'm high risk, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
3?
I had more than 3, but let's stay with this part of the story.
Okay. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus.
So side piece number 1 said, she was having this conversation. She was high risk. So I said, I really don't want to have any more children, but I understand. So things is getting real rocky with my marriage. She don't know about the side pieces or the pending children.
Okay.
So the rocky things in the marriage enticed me to go get a vasectomy, which, I went and did.
Uh-huh.
So then I get deployed to Iraq.
While they're pregnant?
While they're pregnant. Side piece number 2, in her infinite pettiness and ignorance.
Safe to say y'all ain't friends.
No, we're still friends. We're all friends.
Okay.
Side piece number 2, in her infinite wisdom and pettiness, decides to get in contact with my then wife and says she's pregnant by me. I'm in Iraq, mind you. Side piece number 1 ain't saying nothing. But side piece number 2 is just telling everybody she's pregnant by me.
Girl, you were supposed to play your position and keep your mouth shut.
So I gets back from Iraq a year later, and I have to deal with all this nonsense.
So she's had the baby already by the time you come back.
Both babies are born by the time I get back. My son was born in January. The other one was born in May. Wow. So I'm over in Iraq. Damn, I'm about to have another child. And my thoughts of becoming a parent again are just horrible because I did not want this. I was like, I was good with 1. I didn't want any more. So get up with side piece number 2. She's, this is your child, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not my child. That's not my child. Yes, it is. I know when I conceived. And I was like, no. Did DNA test. Test came back and said, you are not the father. She says, it must have been immaculate conception.
What? Now you running around here like Mary now. Girl,
right.
Bye.
So side piece 1, good. That's my child. That's my son, blah, blah, blah. But to this day, that is my proudest gem, my youngest son.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait, the immaculate conception didn't happen. And you are the father after you thought that you weren't.
No. I'm the father. I knew I was the father of my son, but the other child, no. I knew I wasn't. Did I think I was?
You weren't.
No, I wasn't.
You were not the father.
No.
Okay,
No.
you're not the pappy of number 2 side chick, baby.
No. Thought I was. It was close. I was like, damn, no. Whew. But
Where
not
the
close.
manuscript at? Cause y'all had as the day's turn going on over there. You got a wife,
Man,
you got 2 side chicks, one of the side chicks got another side piece. Y'all was
yeah,
doing too much mixing and mingling.
I was way out there, but
Wow.
but to bring it back, thoughts of becoming a parent.
Okay.
I just had all those. I was the guy with those fairy tale thoughts of parenthood. Because my childhood was so ridiculous, I just wanted to be able to do better than what I came from.
Okay.
But yeah.
How'd that work out?
With my oldest, it was difficult because they were in Arkansas and I was here in Maryland, so that was crazy. And he has a lot of resentment and stuff like that. Still to this day. But my youngest, he's good. The youngest is good. That's
Wow.
my dude.
All right. That's what's up. Now, the $1 million question.
Oh Lord.
What did the wife say about these children? Is that why she's the ex-wife?
No, she's the ex-wife because
Same?
we were actually going through it before. Well, shit, we were going through it the whole time we was married. We had our ups and downs, our ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. We had all of that going on. And I think I actually decided that I wanted a divorce before I went to Iraq.
Okay.
Outside of my shenanigans and stuff.
Okay.
When I got back and we finally got divorced and stuff, and the dust settled, she would ask about both of them.
Mm-hmm.
She would get stuff for them and all that stuff. So I mean, I give her a lot of props, a lot of respect for even having the capacity to even continue any type of communication and relationship with me, because a lesser person would have probably killed me.
Listen, I would have been wearing an orange jumpsuit. All the furniture would have been moving in the household. Like 2 ladies that came and said you had a baby.
Yeah.
No. See, now I got to cut you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
I was a horrible husband the second time around. I was horrible.
Wow.
And that's not even a half of it, but I was horrible.
We all have done something horrible in our life.
I don't think too many got much on me.
The thoughts of being a parent. Yeah, I didn't know in my situation, after my hopes or my dreams were killed of jet setting around the world and not being a bachelorette. I got married, and I got married at 17.
Oh, okay.
Just before my 18th birthday, and our parents actually had to sign for us to get married because we were underage. But they agreed to do it because we were just about to turn 18, and they were like, well, they strong-willed. As soon as they turn 18, they're going to run off and do it. So we should just give our blessing and let them do it the right way. And they did. And afterward, we got married. I went off to college. Notice I said I went off to college. We got married in February. I graduated high school in December, got married in February, off to college in April, and it was a train wreck. We agreed to wait 5 years to have kids because I wanted to finish college before I had, finish college, establish my career, and then think about kids. Well, that didn't happen. Mainly because when I went away to college, I went away to college with a baby in tow. A baby that didn't belong to me.
Huh?
Yeah, baby that didn't belong to me. I called him my nephew son.
Uh-huh.
Biologically, it was my nephew,
Oh, okay.
but we were raising him.
Mhm.
We didn't have any kids of our own, and I think that experience of having to care for him, all day. I mean, he had been in my life,
Mhm.
by then he was 2 years old.
Right.
He had been in my life, since the beginning. So, I was like the regular babysitter when everybody else was. That's how he ended up going away to college with me. And,
Mhm.
I don't know what happened. We slipped up, whatever. So I have a baby on the way.
Mm.
Um, had the baby, went right back to school after my 6 weeks, and of course the marriage was not marrying. It was doing its thing, and I ended up having to leave school and come back home because I had gone to college out of state.
Mhm.
Had to come back home because it wasn't working out. Um, but it grew me up, you
Mhm.
know when my mother was trying to teach me how to cook, and I was resistant. I didn't know how to cook at all.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I couldn't cook, I couldn't do anything. So those kids, can't we didn't have any money,
Mhm.
can't feed them in the restaurant, and that's
Right.
not
Yeah.
healthy. So I had to learn how to cook. We ate some horrible meals, while I was experimenting, but I made it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it was because of the kids that I learned how to cook, and they really settled me,
Mhm.
you know. But if I had to prepare, and I knew what parenting entailed, and that was probably why I didn't want to have children,
Mhm. Okay.
because I know that you have to sacrifice, and it was just, you know, I got a glimpse of it when I would be, babysitting my nephews and stuff like that. Um, and I didn't want it,
Mm.
because I knew that it came with sacrifice.
Mm.
And of course that's what it was. And I became a mom, and then I took life seriously.
Mm.
All that reckless stuff that you could do and get away with it when
Mm.
you are immature, it was like, okay, now I can't do that anymore because I got these little eyes looking up at me.
Right.
Um, but it was good for me. It was good for me. And the marriage didn't do its thing. I stayed, but then I was a hot mess like you
Oh, my.
for a little bit. Yeah, I didn't have any. Well, no, I didn't have any babies.
When you was a hot mess.
I could have. But yeah. Um, yeah, the marriage, it didn't do its thing. We stayed together. Actually, he cheated on me 2 years in.
Mm.
He cheated on me, and I was young and stupid, that whole for better or worse. I don't know
Mm.
what the worst is. So
Right.
I'm thinking, well, this is the worst. This is what I have to, try. This is what they meant. I got to try to, forgive my husband and all that. And I knew my heart wasn't in it anymore, but I was
Mhm.
still, trying to make it work. And then, after he did it, then I'm questioning myself. My self-esteem is like in the
Right.
toilet because, well, why would he cheat on me?
Right. Right.
That whole thing. And after a while, I was trying to ride and I died.
Mm.
Uh After 7 years, then I was like, forget it. I give up. And then I stepped out.
Mhm.
We had decided we were going to live our separate lives, and I stepped out. And once I stepped out, then there was no coming back after that. And
Mm.
we stayed together for 9 more years.
What? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
we stayed
No.
together a total of 16 years.
Damn.
Yeah, those last 9 years, we lived separate lives. He did his thing, I did my thing, and whoever I was with at the time, then, that was my man.
Mm.
Um, we still showed up at family events and kid events. We kept the secret. Nobody knew. And yeah, nobody, they when you're growing up, they what goes on in your four walls,
Yeah.
stays in your four walls. So we kept it in our household,
Wow.
didn't tell anybody, but I was suffering in silence. And
Hmm.
like when it finally came to a head, like career wise, I was like at the top of my game. I'm, 6-figure earner. I had built like this big old pretty house, and I was like doing my thing
Hmm.
in the corporate world and financially with material stuff. But that was the worst period of my life.
Wow.
I was depressed,
Hmm.
and then now I have money, so I have expendable cash, so I'm out kicking it with my friends who are single,
Hmm.
um and we're out, and it became self-medicating.
Hmm.
I was hanging out to avoid going home because I hated my home life. I would go to work by day, come home, do what I had to do for my kids, fix dinner or provide dinner or whatever. When I put them to bed, then I was out the door,
Hmm.
and I would go hang out. And it's first it was just weekends. Then it would be one night a week. Then it was 2-3 nights a week. Before you know it, we're out, 5 nights a week. But
Gosh.
yeah, but it was a
Living
way
that
for me
life.
not to go home. It was like after my kids went to bed, I was soccer mom by day, and then I was something else by night.
Hmm.
And I felt like I was living a double life because,
Hmm.
I would go to work, and how there's, water cooler talk or
Yeah.
people in the
Yeah.
break room talking, and they would always want to know. It's like there was this mystery, I think, about me. They wanted to know what was happening in my personal life. And
Uh-huh.
I'm not going in the lunchroom. I would eat lunch in my office.
Right.
I'm not going, in the break room and eat with them because they're gonna ask me questions. I don't want to have to lie. So
Oh
the
man.
whole thing. And after a while, I was like, no, because I was probably a functional alcoholic by that point. I didn't need it, but because
Hmm.
I was drinking regularly, that's what I call it.
Right. 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 Yeah.
Um, and I was just like, I shouldn't be here. How did I get here?
Hmm.
And it was growing worse and worse. And then there was a little boo thing that came along, and I saw an opportunity like, okay, I don't necessarily want to ride off into the sunset with him, but this may be my out because I
Hmm.
can continue this.
Right.
Um, and I finally got out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy,
And then,
y'all can write books. For real,
hence
y'all
the
can write
name, the
books.
book of Jennesis. And that was just the start of my story.
Hey.
It went down after that.
Yeah.
It got progressively worse.
Mm.
But, I don't want to make it super spiritual, but God was trying to get my attention, and
Right.
I wasn't listening.
Right. So with all of that, and your Nephra son,
Yes.
how long did it take you to change your thoughts on having children of your own? And what brought you to having 4?
I can only say God brought me to having 4
Mhm.
because back then, even after I had 1, if
Mhm.
you had asked me, okay, you got this 1 kid, how many kids do you think you? Never in a million years would I have figured that I would have 4. Like,
Mm.
how did I go from not wanting any to having 4? Um, and that's 4 biological. That's not including the Nepha son.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it was, I never looked at the Nepha son as not my child
Mhm.
because, he had been in my life, since the beginning. It
Mhm.
started out as me, the babysitter,
Mhm.
because the adults had to go to work.
Right.
all I had to do was go to school. So after school, then I would be the babysitter while everybody else was adulting and probably, doing their own thing too.
Mhm.
But because I was a kid, I couldn't really go anywhere. So, okay, well, she can't go anywhere. Let's leave this kid with her. I that experience, I'm not gonna say I practiced,
Mhm.
but I think I practiced, and it made me think that I was capable of having a kid of my own. And then that kind of changed, I don't want to say skewed, but my experience, I didn't want the same for my kids. So I
Right.
became overprotective with my own children. I
Mhm.
didn't want them babysitting anybody's kids,
Right. Okay.
when they were older, because I'm like, I don't want them practicing and thinking that they're old enough or responsible enough to have kids, because I don't want them to have any.
Okay.
I didn't
I got
want them to be teen moms or anything. Like my older two are girls. I'm like, I don't want them to be teen moms. I don't want them to have any children before they have a husband. So no, we're not bringing nobody babies in here for you to practice with, because you might end up like me.
Right. Right.
Um, and I got one that ain't married yet, but it worked for that older one. She just got married 2 weeks ago. And
Congrats.
she doesn't have any children. I'm like, I don't care if she has 10 now that she got her papers in order,
I know that's right.
because I don't want to have to raise anybody else's kids.
Mhm.
And the last two, I say I have two sets of kids because I have 29, 22, and then 9 and 7.
Mm.
Yeah. I got married again. I don't know why. And thank you, Poetic Justice. I got married again,
Oh
and he
man.
didn't have kids. And he caught me like at that right moment where I was new. I had been Catholic all my life, and
Mhm.
I was new to the Black church. So, I'm like on fire, and I'm trying to be this Proverbs 31 woman. And
Oh man.
yeah. So he didn't have any kids, and he wanted to have kids right away. And I'm trying to be this obedient wife. Okay, but he was a narcissist, and I
Mm.
didn't know what a narcissist was then.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the religious side of it.
Mm.
I'm gonna be this Proverbs 31. Let me give him this baby. So I agreed to have the one. Um, got married. 2 weeks later, I was pregnant.
Mm.
And 30 days later, I wanted a divorce. That didn't happen.
Wow.
And then, up came another one. How, I don't even know, but I mean, I know how, but we weren't getting along. He, obviously caught me on that day that those hormones were, doing their thing.
Right.
And
Right.
here comes the second one. And actually, with the second one, I hadn't confirmed that I was pregnant, and we were already separated.
Wow.
Yeah, we were already separated. So then it was like, okay, now I got these two older kids who, by that point, my first husband ended up passing away.
Mhm.
So I got these two kids that I'm raising by myself, hooked up with this dude. Now I got two kids by him, and the marriage ain't working out. So
Mm.
it was like, well, do I go? And the narcissist is working. So, it's about control. And I had a male friend who happened to be a narcissist also, but I didn't know what a narcissist was at that time. He told me, he warned me, and actually he had suggested, he's like, don't have this kid. He was like, you need to terminate this pregnancy.
Mm.
I'll take you. And I was like, no, I'm a big girl. I made my bed. I got to lay in it. I can't do that. And he said, he's trying to control you with those kids.
Wow.
And at the time, I'm thinking, I don't know the signs of the narcissist.
Right.
But he was dead on. He knew because he was the narcissist.
Mm.
And I didn't listen. So I had the kids, and here I am with 4 kids now. And of course I had to run, fast, and got out, saved myself. And then my fiance came along when my kids were little. Actually, my daughter was a year old. I had 2 in diapers. And yeah, 1 and 3. And he was a godsend, when the other one stepped away, he stepped up and did everything and helped me until he passed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't, I don't regret it though.
Right.
It was a tough time, but I love my babies to life. And I wouldn't be the person that I am if for those experiences or, having those kids in my life, because they make me better.
Yeah. I say the same thing about my youngest. As much as I did not want any more, like I had floated the idea of a vasectomy for a long time. And, when the side piece number 1 got pregnant, I was like, damn, I need to get a vasectomy. But I wanted a daughter. So I was caught in that little paradox. Like, I want a daughter and like, she's carrying a son. It's like, what am I going to do? And then me and my wife at the time, we had a conversation. And I'll say it was an attempt to save the marriage conversation on her part.
Oh.
And I said to myself, call the urologist and go get a vasectomy. I want to get a vasectomy. So I went, and the day of my damn appointment, I was sitting in there and I was like, well, first, before you got to go to the pre-appointment, whatever the case may be. And they asked me how many kids I had. I said I had 3. Because at that time, I don't think you could get a vasectomy if you only had 1 child.
Yep.
I said I had 3. Because I was like, nah, this is getting done. So on the day of my appointment, I said, can I freeze some of my sperm just in case? Doc looked at me and said, if you thinking about freezing some of your sperm, you might as well not do it. I was like, never mind, go ahead and do it.
Sobered you up real quick.
Because, as much as I wanted to be, as much as I wanted a daddy's girl, as much as I wanted to be a father of a daughter, at that point, I was like, I'm not going to be like the rest of these dudes having 3, 4, and 5 baby mamas running around here and all this drama, this, that, and the other. I said, 2 is enough. Thank you. Shut it down. I'm good. And people would always say, well, what if you meet somebody that wants a child? I'm like, at that time, I was 32. And I'm like, at this age, if she ain't got no children, I'm sorry for your luck. But when women get married, they want to give their husbands a child. And I'm like, again, if she don't already have children at this point, she got a luck. She better find somebody else.
You got yours. You giving them yours because they attached to you.
That's it.
No.
And then the third marriage comes along, and she's talking about having children. She already had 2.
Wow.
And for whatever retarded reason, I entertained the conversation. But when they said how much it cost to get a reversal and the chances of it being successful, I was good. I'm good. It's not going to happen. So
I gotta pay to get it reversed. Then I gotta pay for the kid.
And it's not covered by insurance. That's out of pocket. And it was like, I think it was like 15, 20 G's at that time, maybe something around there. Look here. when anybody after that would ask me about having kids, I was like, you pay for my vasectomy reversal. All right, cool. Pockets ain't that deep. Conversation dead.
That's a sure way to end the conversation.
Yeah.
Sure way to end the conversation.
Sure is. So that's what you want to move on to next.
So, can a man lead if he's not the primary provider? And this is my Sir Hale Speaks.
Whew.
Y'all probably gonna hate me after this.
I ain't gonna hate you. I'm here for it.
Question.
I'm here for it.
I'm gonna say that it's a no. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a no.
And why do you say no?
I have baggage in that area.
Okay.
That second
Situation.
Yeah, situation. Because I've been married twice, but I ain't never had a husband.
Mm-hmm.
That second situation never delivered anything. Right. And again, you know, church. He came from a church family, and you know, both parents ministers, all that old good stuff. And the mom used to push that narrative. Used to say, it doesn't matter what your earnings are. It doesn't matter if you have a job or not. You're still the head of household wherever you are. At that point, he was living in my house and was only paying the cable bill.
Stop it.
And it was a month in arrears.
And he was a narcissist.
And she was saying that he was still the head of household. It doesn't matter.
She was saying that to you or to him?
She was saying that to him, and then he was coming back to tell me that. And at first I'm thinking, he crazy. You know, nobody told him that. I know nobody told him that. But yeah, she really did tell him that because that was her interpretation of the Bible. And, you know, the man is the leader of the family. And I was like, not around here. He ain't the leader. Because, I mean, the people calling every month because the cable bill late. And that's all he got to pay. So, no. And no, they're not the leader. If you got to pay the cost to be the boss. And if I'm paying the cost, then I'm the boss. Now, I'll gladly turn over the reins to you if you're capable of doing it. Then I'll play my position. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to follow your lead. But no, we're not going to spend my money, or, you know, I got to go earn it and then you get to control how it's spent. Nah, we're not going to do that.
Sounds so lit.
I'm going to respectfully disagree.
Really?
I don't think that it's money based. As we all know, not all boys grow to be men. So when it comes down to being responsible, not every boy is going to do that. So with him not getting out there and doing what's necessary to provide for his family, I just think that he was still in the boy stage. Don't know him, can't judge him, but based on the information. There are plenty of men that I know who their significant other makes more money than them. But they still do the best that they can. Although they might not be on the same financial situation, they still get up, go to work every day, make sure their kids are taken care of, make sure their wife is taken care of. They do all the things that a responsible man should do. So with that being said, that's why I feel that it doesn't matter who makes the more money or the most money. A man's got to be a man in order to leave his family or to lead his family. So,
but then if he's not doing the things that men are supposed to do, then is he really a man?
I can't say for each situation, but again, my view is this, right? If you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a man, if you can't look in the mirror and call yourself a man, then you can't expect for other people to call you a man.
True.
So
that's a gem right there.
if you want a family, you got to do the shit that's necessary to provide for that family.
Right.
So again, there are plenty of situations where we have men who are physically men, but
Mhm.
mentally are still boys.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
Mm. My thoughts on that is it takes a certain type of character in a man
Mhm.
to be the lead if he's not the primary provider. Because a problem out there is like Jennesis said, there's narcissists. And usually if the woman is the primary provider, that man has deeply ingrained narcissism baked in his DNA, whether it's before that situation or after.
Mhm.
So I'm going to lean more towards no, he can't lead if he's not the primary provider for that reason. To what Sun Solex said, there are situations where it's possible, but again, it's the mindset of that man. You
Mhm.
know, let's just use the woman who's making 100,000 and the guy who's making 30,000. I don't think he can lead the family.
Mm-mm.
I just do not.
No.
Now,
Well, now I think if it was like the example that I gave earlier, the she's making 100, he's making 80. I think
yeah,
that's a different situation.
yeah, it's a totally different situation
Yeah.
because the narcissism in that man, because that woman makes more, should be very minimal. But again, it takes a certain character in a man. But yeah, if this man is making significantly less than her, and if we're just talking about the financial aspect, I say no.
Yeah.
But if their salaries are pretty close together, it's a possibility financially, yes. But you know, when you dig into the mental capacity of that guy, um, regardless of what the difference is in finances, if he's not the primary provider, period, you know, it's a case by case basis, and I've seen plenty of men crash and burn relationships because they may make $5,000 less than that woman, and he doesn't feel like he's the lead,
Mhm.
or he doesn't have the tools to lead because he feels some type of way, or whatever his background is. So, I'm just going to lean towards if he's not the primary provider, he probably can't lead. But again, that takes a certain type of person to navigate that situation.
And I would probably adjust my answer a little bit because if their salaries are close, if I were in a situation and the man is making, a little, slightly less than I was,
Hmm.
I would probably still defer to him and, look at him as the leader of the family, even if I were making more. But
Hmm.
if it's huge difference, then I I, I probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't, just being 100% honest, I wouldn't be able to respect. I know men have a need for respect, and I wouldn't be able to respect a man the way that I need to if I out earned him. If I'm making, $100,000 and he's flipping burgers at McDonald's, then
Right. Yeah, I get that. I get that. So,
I
go
can
ahead,
see how
sis.
that would be a problem, but
yeah,
again, at that point, it would be because she chose to have a man in her life that's not on her level.
yeah, and for
Mhm.
me, it would be a strong no at the very beginning. Like we wouldn't even get to the point of that.
Yeah.
Poetic Justice asked the question. She said, "What if she is making more, but he is working and in school to better himself and taking care of the kids? Is he not leading?"
Hmm.
I believe he is.
I
He's trying to progress. There's a
right.
difference between trying and not trying.
I think he's making a contribution to the family
Yeah.
by doing that. Taking care of the kids is a contribution to the family.
Hmm.
And it's saving the money if they're not having to go to, daycare, after school care or something like that because, he's taking care of the children. But I still think that, when marriage is serious, and it comes with a whole set of problems of its own. So
Yeah.
why go into it behind the eight ball? Eliminate as many factors as possible that you guys would have to fight about,
Yeah.
before you enter the marriage. Because undoubtedly there's going to be something that you have to fight about after you get married. Just like,
Mhm.
nah, I'd rather, choose my battles. And that's not one that I want to have. I want to have to fight.
Mm. She says many do this going to med school and law school, and that doesn't mean he isn't a leader. I get that.
I'm gonna wait till you finish medical school or law school. I'll be there for your support. We can date,
Right, yeah.
but we're not ready for marriage until, you get out. And I mean, let's be real. When they come out of med school and law school, they're not rolling in the bucks, because more than likely they have a whole lot of student loan debt.
Mhm.
That student loan debt is astronomical in some cases, and they're not bringing in the bucks to
Yeah.
justify, that student loan debt for several years until they're out of school. So
Yeah, that's a kind of tricky one for me.
yeah.
Because the way I look at it is that if the both individuals are young, and this wage disparity is there, it's a problem. And also say, let's just say that they're up in our age group, and this joker is just now going to medical school or law school, and he does not already have a degree. That's also a problem, because it's like, bruh,
Where you been for the last 20 years?
right? You had half a century, and you just now going to law school and medical school. Like, what are we doing here?
For me, that's red flags.
Yeah. So I
That's
mean,
red
if you had a degree and you say, hey, babe, I want to go back to school, blah blah blah. Okay, that's a different type of conversation. Because we're going to look at it as they're already established, and he wants to do something different, and everything is cool.
Mhm.
You still the man in the house, you still leading this, that, and the other. So that's what that is. But yeah, if you just now going to school in this age, that's a problem.
I mean, unless it was something like where I don't know, for financial reasons or something, you had to leave while it was in progress and you're still going back. But if you've done nothing until this point, and you 40 whatever, and you decide you want to go back to school and start fresh,
Mm,
nah,
yeah.
like, I mean, it just say it takes 12 years,
mhm.
and that's on the high side. It took you 12 years. If you started at 30, you could be done by 42. That still gave you a whole lot of years to play with post high school. Nah, that's something else. You got something else going on
Yeah.
with your mental that I'm not here for.
And honestly, the only way I can see that acceptable and be okay with it is if this person spent 20 years in the military. That's the only way that I can honestly be like, I'm almost okay with it, because you can go to school while
Right.
you're in.
I mean,
But
that in that sense, that's a whole different scenario,
yeah,
period. Because then the military is gonna help you pay for it and all that other
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah,
You can get a house after you come
yeah,
into the table with something else besides, bags of clothes.
right. Yeah. So that's about the only
Yeah.
way I could see that. So to stay on that point, kind of, and this comes from eBlack TV.
Okay.
Let's talk about achieving success without a college degree, computer programmers and stuff like that.
I think it's possible. I
Mhm.
don't have my degree. I don't have my degree.
I don't have mine either.
I started school, I told you, and I left school because I had the kid and the crazy marriage. I came back. Um, I had kids I had to provide for, so I had to go to
Mhm.
work. I went to work. Thankfully, I chose a field where it didn't matter. I had to get a state license, and
Mhm.
I that afforded us the comfortable lifestyle that we had, and then I became an entrepreneur, and you know, I've since gone back to school,
Mhm.
and actually it's a little bit different, 'cause I I'm paying for it myself, so there is there is a little bit more invested there. You have, when your money is on the line, you're a little bit more
Yeah.
committed to the process.
Yeah.
Um, but at this point, it's just a matter of kind of doing it to satisfy myself to say that, I did it. It's not going to change, my career at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Personally.
have mine. I've gone to school 3, 4, 5 times. Like they say, I gave it that old college try.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate to go in the army, come out. I did play around in my 20s and stuff like that. But then I was fortunate enough to get into security, which was good money. And now I am in emergency management, and I'm in a field or position that requires for most places a bachelor's degree, but I have enough training and experience to supplement that where
Yeah.
I make a comfortable six figures, and it's like um it's possible. And the when I look at myself, and I look at how people say, oh, there's no opportunities for Black people, this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting back saying, at what point did you miss opportunities that were right there? Because I don't get it.
I am kind of a non-traditionalist
Mhm.
when it comes to education. Even before my experience, because just being honest with y'all, I I didn't want to go to college.
Mhm.
After I hated school, by the time I got to high school, I hated it. I really only graduated early because I wanted to hurry up and get out. Um, for real, I wanted to hurry up and get like I just want this to be over with. Let me go on, hurry up, double time it so I can go. And then I went to college because I wanted to get out from a parents' house and have some
Mhm.
freedom. I wanted to be grown. Um, and now looking at the way it's set up now, like how I was talking about, the doctors and the lawyers when they have this huge, student loan debt when
Mhm.
they come out and they're not making enough money, they've got to
Right.
put in several years before they see the real money, if they're paying back their student loans. And I think we don't really and I'm not going to say we don't set our kids up for success, but there are a lot of kids now who are graduating graduating college with degrees, but they're working in jobs that people without degrees are working in. And it's like, what's the point of going to college
Right.
and investing this time if you're only going to come out and do the same thing? Not to mention the way that we do it. Like, we don't promote, um, saving money. Like,
Mhm.
we tell the kids, if they're gonna go to college, go away to a 4-year college or whatever. Well, the first 2 years, you're just doing prereqs and things like that.
Yeah.
Why not go to a community college, which is way cheaper, get those 2 years done,
Mhm.
and then go and finish your last 2 years at a traditional university because you're getting the same prereqs.
Yeah.
So why not pay, the cheaper price per credit hour over here than over there? And then, you know, you may have a little bit more money to
Mhm.
play around with. And then you're not coming out of college, saddled with all this student loan debt. And then, have a little bit of wiggle room as far as finding your footing as far as your career goes. And, nowadays, a bachelor's degree is going to be looked at like, a high school diploma,
Right.
because it just doesn't carry the same weight that it used to, maybe when we were younger or before us. I just don't. I do believe in educating yourself. And I think they don't promote the trades often enough,
Right.
because these sanitation workers and plumbers and electricians,
They be caking.
are making money. I'm like, they're making more money than people who are coming out of college with these, 4-year degrees that they've paid money for. And a lot of them haven't paid anything for it. There's a lot of programs out here that pay for them to get their education in whatever trade. So it's like somebody paid for you to get the training for free. And then you come out and making all this money. Like, that's a win-win. Why aren't we promoting that? Because then, they're farther out, economically after they get that training, and I don't understand why, we're going for titles, because we want the respect of other people to say that I'm Dr. Such and such. No, that electrician, listen, y'all better stop sleeping on them.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think you need a college degree to be successful. I have friends who have college degrees who are doing great. Then I have plenty of friends who don't have a college degree who are doing just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
So I don't have a 4-year degree, but I've been in school enough to have that, and then some. I just kept on changing my damn major, but
I'm saying.
anyway, I think it comes down to hard work and dedication. Like, whatever it is you want to be successful in, you will be.
Yeah.
Trick
And
is just
somebody
being
has to do
consistent
the other
about it.
jobs. Somebody has to do the other jobs,
Yeah.
like, now they're required, police officers or firemen are respected professions. Now there are places that are requiring police officers to have a degree in criminal justice, but firefighter, everybody, when there's career day at school, oh, I want to be a firefighter when I grow up. They don't go to college for that. It's respected, they make a livable wage. They make more than a livable wage.
Yeah. I've changed my major several times. I first went for mental health, then I went for business management, then I went for what did I go for? Homeland security. I went for something else, and then the last time I went was for graphic communications.
Wow.
So I have enough credits to have probably a degree and a half, but it's just some of those courses that I have a phobia against, that I just be like, you know what, I'm checking out. But to talk about those trades, yeah, like them electricians, I called an electrician because, I went to YouTube University so I could change some light switches, and I got to a point in my house where it was like, I'm not fooling with that bundle of wires. I had them jokers come in my house and change like 4 or 5 light switches, and it cost me $750.
Listen,
so I'm gonna have to have a conversation with my son again, because he's searching for schools and stuff. And he said he wanted to be a mechanic, which is a nice trade to have because everybody needs a mechanic. And just recently he was talking about journalism, but I'm gonna have to have a talk with him about these trades more, and community college first. Thankfully, like when we grew up, I wasn't set up for success in that area. Thankfully that they changed a few laws and I can give my GI Bill to my child. He's good. So, but yeah, them bachelor degrees these days are going to be like the equivalent to a high school diploma.
Yeah, they are. And that's why
how much money you spend to get one.
Yeah.
I promote to my children education, not the degree. Don't worry about not having. I want you to be intelligent. I want you to be knowledgeable in whatever you do. but don't feel pressured to say that, I've got my degree in this, that, or the third,
Right.
because I don't care about that. If that's what they want to do for themselves, then that's a personal choice. Get the money first. You can always go back, because it's never too late. You see 80-year-olds, now they're on social media, they're getting their degree. Well, it's never too late, as long as there's breath in you to go out, to go return to school and get your degree.
Poet just says check out MOOC or mock courses.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what those are either.
She says she uses those and she gets the education without the payment. Okay. Well,
you know what? To go along with that, here's one thing that I try to say to people. There's a cheat code to going to college, and that cheat code is very unpopular to a lot of people. But the military, at the very least, National Guard or Reserve. I can say in Maryland, you join the National Guard, and off the break, they pay 50% of your tuition. Then you get state tuition reimbursement, state tuition assistance. So you can pretty much go to school for free. Plus you get the GI Bill. Outside of that, the one thing that helped me qualify for the job that I have, not only because of the military, but if you go on the FEMA website, they have independent study courses. And if you look up any type of like emergency management job and stuff like that, they'll tell you what courses that you need to qualify for that job. And you take those courses, and, that's pretty much your education. And you just do jobs that's related to that. So it's a cheat code out there.
Definitely.
Most definitely. I say get all free money.
All of it.
Free money, all the free training. I don't care what it's in.
Right. So Lex, you want to knock out one more before we shut it down?
All right. So
y'all ain't going 8 hours like the rest of us. 8 hours. Did you tell him about that night? Like, it's crazy in these YouTube streets. Like, I don't know how these people do it.
Nah, we're not doing 8 hours.
We sure aren't. We sure are not.
All right. So the last one's going to be, is monogamy, is it a social construct, or is it not natural?
Oh, my goodness. Whew. I'm going to defer to some conversations that me and Son Solex had in a podcast we did before. Monogamy is not natural to me. And I say this because of this.
Says the two side chick the two side chick dude.
I wear it in shame. Of course
you're gonna say that.
But I say it because it is. Mm-hmm. We have to look at where monogamy came from. And if we go back and back and back and back in time, monogamy wasn't really a thing like that. People had 3 and 4 wives in a tribe. Some queens and whatever case may be had several husbands. So it's like, at one point, did monogamy come into standard practice? And then we have to also look at what we assume, what we know, and what we don't know throughout the history of mankind, and what is really etched in concrete. Because if you go back in time, it's like when did monogamy become that thing?
Yes.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here, but
I was trying not to.
if we believe in creation, and it started with one man, one woman, then naturally there would have had to have been some mixing and mingling to get us to where we are now. I mean, you know, in the beginning, there had to be that to create these different tribes and all of that. I think once that was established, then I just think it adds I think it's supposed to be one man and one woman, because any more than that, the more chaotic it's going to be.
I'm gonna say I think it's a social construct.
Y'all dudes, y'all gonna say that. Y'all are guys. Y'all want to be mixing and mingling and be loose. And,
Oh man,
you know, y'all think it's not natural until the women start doing it.
Oh,
then,
no.
then it's a whole different. See.
But I feel differently though. I think that, you know, it's kind of like, what's your taste? Because there are some women who they feel they can handle, you know, having more than one man.
So
it's just a matter of finding a man who's willing to be in that situation.
But how many guys, I don't want to be saying dudes because I don't want to make it seem like I'm disrespectful. So I apologize if that's offensive to either of you. But how many guys are willing to be in a situation where it's one woman and it's multiple guys because you know, she says that monogamy is not natural? Y'all lose y'all.
I was gonna let you go first, but
I was about to go. I had to inhale first.
Oh, okay, I understand.
At this point in my life, and for the last, I want to say 5 to 10 years, I just don't care. Like, if you as a woman want to have 2 and 3 guys, rock on.
What?
Yes, because I look at it like this. When I was younger, I used to have that issue. Like, no, you can only have one man. You're a HOE if you do this and that and other. And then I had to look myself in the mirror and slap the shit out of myself and be like, who are you to tell this woman that or impose this on a woman when you had side chicks when you was married? I had to really take that in. And then I had to look at, you know, what people practice all over this planet. There are places where women have more than one man. Could I do it? Like by choice do it? I couldn't do it either way. Now, yes, I've done my dirt in marriages and this, that, and the other, but would I be okay being one man and having 2 and 3 wives? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Could I be one of 3 husbands to a woman? Hell no. I just couldn't. I could not.
Now I have a question for you now that you bring that up. So since you tell us that side chick number 2 had a side dude or had a dude, because technically if you had a wife, then she didn't have to be faithful to you.
Right.
But if side chick number 2 had her whatever on the side, what was your reaction when you found out that she had somebody else, even though you were married and had a side chick number 1? She was number 3.
Right.
Were you okay with her having somebody else?
Yes and no.
Okay.
At that age, and this is the reason, yes and no. I had a problem because the thing was good. It was good. Yeah, I mean, it was good. But I didn't have a problem with it because I knew I was married. I knew I had a side chick. I knew she had a side dude. I also knew she had a husband. So it was not much that I could be upset about.
Wait a minute, what? She had a husband and so she had 3?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, I mean, once I got out of my ignorant mindset, I said to myself, I can't be mad at that because I'm doing the same thing. So when I look at women who have more than one dude, it's like, who am I to judge? If that's how you want to live, that's how you want to live. If you feel like you want to have 2 and 3 husbands, all right, rock on. If I know someone who feels like they want to have 2 and 3 wives, rock on. I'm not doing that because I don't want to deal with that many personalities in one place at one time. I don't want to deal with that.
I would say, to each their own. So again, if you're a female and you feel like you are capable of handling more than one man, do your thing. If you are a man and you feel like you're capable of having more than one woman, good luck to you. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck to your motherfucking ass.
Now you see how you just did that.
But I'm telling you,
The woman do your thing, but then it's good luck to the man.
it is good luck.
That
Because
suggests
it takes a certain.
that we are something to deal with, that they need luck.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
It takes a certain level of confidence and truly knowing who you are in order to be the head of multiple women. That's just flat out what it is. And I'm not saying that you have to be in control of each woman. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you as a man, you got to be on your shit. Because in order to be in that type of relationship, I will hope you are smart enough to be building something, whether that be generational wealth, businesses, making sure that each one of these women are taken care of in their own right, meaning they don't necessarily have to have you in their life in order to get to the bag, as they say. So that's why I say good luck with a man. Make sure you got your ducks in a row when you take on a situation like that. Could I see myself in a situation where I have multiple wives? Maybe the younger me, but the me now, hell no. No, I just don't have the patience for it.
Oh man.
Do I think women are capable of doing it? If their body can hold up to the pressure of multiple men, then do you think, George? That's a lot of pressure, though.
That's a lot of pressure. And I can say that is one thing. I ain't gonna sit here and say I ain't done nothing trifling as a woman. That's the one trifling thing that I don't believe in, because that's a lot, because we are receivers.
Right.
That part.
You just can't, let multiples into your space like that. I don't know, but maybe my views are antiquated on that. Like,
I mean, but the thing about it is this, right? We've all been single at some point in our lives, and when we were single, we did our things. Meaning, we may have had more than 1 or 2 people, or 5, or maybe 7 people we're seeing at the same time. That don't mean you were knocking them all down now.
That's what I was about to say. Now, I ain't gonna sit around and say I ain't have a stable. When I was living my single life, I was doing the best thing. However, there was one that was designated. Okay,
designated hitter.
Designated hitter. This is what we doing with him. Okay, this is the one we're going to dinner with. This one is snuggle and Netflix and chill. And this is the designated hitter. Everybody had a role to play. Everybody had a role to play, but the only one getting the cookie. I mean, as women, you have to be, because I understand, even though it's a double standard, we can't be out there. Even if the men are out there, we can't be out there like that. And I never lost sight of that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, again, like you said, females are receivers. So if you having a man, especially if you having unprotected sex with this man, he's leaving a part of him in you for, correct me if I'm wrong, 7 days before it totally resolves.
I thought it was 3.
It could be.
No, I don't know about the number of days that linger.
Things changed.
You know,
Scientific change.
his pull-out game supposed to be on point, and if you know if you ain't committed to him, you should have no expectation that he's committed to you, which
Mhm.
means he could be somewhere else. So that means that you should probably be protecting yourself
Exactly.
because you don't know where he is.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We
all
monogamy.
had a pass. We had a
Monogamy.
pass.
One man. That's nasty. That's what that little girl on the little YouTube, the videos going. That's nasty.
Oh my goodness.
That's too much. You know, like they making these deposits, and you know, after you got multiple making deposits in you.
Oh my
like,
goodness.
girl, that thing is a cesspool. That's disgusting.
I mean,
Yeah.
but people out here doing that poly thing, like Poetic Justice said. I mean,
No,
definitely doing it now.
There's too much going on. I mean, now first we had to worry about, you know, guys having multiple girls or girls having multiple guys, but now they switching and you know everywhere. You don't know who the competition is,
right?
You know that it's too dangerous.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game out here now.
It's a whole nother ball game.
I feel sorry for women when it comes to that.
Tropical smoothie today.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
So I hadn't walked into tropical smoothie today, right?
Wait, I need clarification. You walked into a tropical smoothie?
Yeah. And there's a couple
smoothie place
in the corner.
Tropical smoothie is okay.
And I thought it was a guy. It was a melanated guy and a Hispanic woman. And I was like, okay, I see you, bro. I see you. So I went and got my order and I came back and then I realized that's not a guy. So again, people are doing
it was a melanated woman with a Hispanic woman.
Yes.
Wow.
So again, the field is vast nowadays.
Ladies, I feel sorry for y'all because y'all have a lot to contend with.
I feel sorry for y'all.
Why?
Because these surgeries are getting better and better. I am a woman.
Okay, I got you.
And there are times where I have been like, okay, I didn't even know. I'm a woman. Like, they parts looking better than ours. You know,
they got that good now.
Y'all explain this because I'm thoroughly confused. Like when we were younger, I know Soul Touch is close to my age. I'll be 49 in a couple days. When we were younger, you know, the Adam's apple was like really pronounced.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you don't like on some of them. I can see it. I'm like, are they just? I don't know, are being evolving where it's not as pronounced, or are they're not getting surgery on those because you don't see scars. But on some of them, I'm saying them because I don't know
what to use these days.
Right. You don't, I don't know. I can't tell. So if they don't have an Adam's apple that's really pronounced, they get a good plastic surgeon. Y'all won't know until maybe it's too late, until y'all in the heat of a moment. Then what?
Look here.
Oh, man.
Look here. Look here.
It's gonna be a problem, man. I'm telling you.
Gonna be a problem, partner. Gonna be a problem, partner.
Yeah, I mean, but on the flip side, like I'm learning from TikTok because, and I thought I was like in the know of everything. Like, you know, TikTok is really educating a sister because I'm seeing videos of Now, guys that used to be girls, like they do their throwback pictures, and with some of them, if I didn't see the throwback pictures, then I wouldn't know that they were on the other side before, like this hormone therapy, they are doing full transformations.
Killing me.
Yeah.
Red lipstick vibes. You see what you walked into. You came kind of late, but we threw one of your questions up there already. Yeah. Monroe Bergdorf. I heard that name before.
Monroe. Okay, look up. I gotta look up Monroe.
Yeah, look that up.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Oh my God, I can't take it.
Uh-oh. I'm scared to see what I'm looking up, but I'm
Oh goddamn.
That bad?
oh goddamn.
No, man, no.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Get the hell out of here, son.
Wow.
have y'all seen this person before?
I didn't until now.
Uh,
I don't know.
Okay.
When I Google it and I go to images, one of the pictures looks a little suspect.
Yeah, the first
But
one.
then some of those other ones, no, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would know.
See, you said what?
I would know.
You would know.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I wouldn't.
You
Now
look
the
it up?
one in the
Did you
little
look it
like
up?
blue and green floral, I don't know. Maybe it's the wig or something that's throwing it off.
This damn. I
The
saw
lace
something.
front or something is throwing it off. But there's the gray dress, or no, it looks like black and white check dress picture. I don't know if it's like braids and then it's straight or something, but it's blonde hair. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know by the breast.
I'm just gonna say wow. I'm leave it at that.
You said you would know by the breast?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but women that were born to women are having breast augmentation, so
Yeah, I understand that,
No.
but like any woman with breast augmentation is questionable to me because I don't like them.
oh,
I don't like the way they look. So
you
I
can
mean,
definitely tell.
I know that some of them doctors out there are like off the chain, but from the ones that I've seen, I'm like, that's a dude. Yeah, that's a dude.
Right. I don't know. The breast thing, because women are doing it also. I think this is just my opinion, and I know it's not all of them, but some of them, they go too far. Like it's like if you had done a little bit less, you might have got away with it.
Right.
But because you went too far to the extreme, okay, now we know that's not real. Now that I know that's not real, then let me look and see what else isn't real.
Let me look at your neck.
Everything becomes questionable at that point.
Let me look at your neck. Let me look at your scalp. Let me look at how you walk. Let me look at how you sit. Let me check out your mannerisms, because every phantom shows their self to some degree.
Really?
Yes.
Now I'm be examining. I'm be looking, because I don't know. I just I don't know. Walk. I can't tell by walk, because some of them walk better in heels than women. I see women struggling in heels, and they walk, they run, they dance, they are like doing their thing. Like, y'all need to hold a class and teach some of these women how to do that.
Yeah,
they want to, but they can't disguise them hands, man. You cannot disguise them hands.
What if they have small hands though? Not every man has big masculine hands. Like some of them are small.
You can't disguise man hands. You can throw as much
even if they're like a
nail
short
polish
man,
or fake nails on there you want.
Some short men have
small
like
hands.
some of them have small hands. Some of them have hands that look kind of tender, but to a degree, there's a certain there's certain dimensions about a
look
man's
to the hands.
Yeah, it's just that you can't get away from it. Like, yeah. Mm-mm.
I don't know.
She's
I don't
a
know.
petite man.
I've seen some good. I don't want to say dupes, but I've seen some good work. Good work.
Yeah, it's some good work out there, but
definitely.
It's crazy because now you almost have to ask the question. Let me see your birth certificate. Let me see your baby pictures. What were you born as? Those are questions that you having to ask because you just don't know.
Well, the birth certificate is becoming kind of extinct as we know it, because people can change their gender on their birth certificate now.
Wait, what?
In some places.
What do you mean?
They can get a new birth certificate that has a different gender on it.
Stop it.
Yeah.
After they check. See, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm learning something. I thought that, after they go through the gender reassignment, I thought that the records still reflect what they used to be.
I heard that they will let you. Yeah. Red Lips says some states will let you change it.
Wow. And Poetic Justice says when you get a sex change, you get a new birth certificate and everything. So wait, they get a new birth certificate. Does the new birth certificate go to the date that they were born, or does it go to the date of the surgery?
That's a good question.
Does it say amended?
I'm not saying it to be funny, but
I know you're not. I'm.
Is your birth date your surgery day?
That's a good damn question.
Maybe it just says amended on it. I don't know.
Amended birth certificate.
Yeah.
See, they doing too much.
They way out the gate. They are way out the gate. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a bit much.
Well, okay. Now I got a question since we on this topic.
Uh-oh.
All right.
So we talked about this on somebody's show. I can't remember. They all run together, but Malik Yoba years ago said that if they have gone completely through the process, then now they are whatever the new creation is. Whatever the new creation is. So are they to be accepted as that?
In whose eyes, though?
I don't know.
That and that's the question that I struggle with.
Once they've gone through the process, if it was a man and he's now gone through the surgery to become a woman, it's a woman. Nobody should have a problem dating him or her.
I look at it like this, and I know it's not exactly related, but I look at it like this. My mother went and got her whole name changed. I don't recognize her as that new name. I recognize her as the name that she was born with.
What do you mean she got her name changed?
She got her whole name changed. She did a name. She went to the court and got a name changed. Her entire name.
Wait, is she now living as a man?
No, she's a woman.
Oh, she just did a name.
I'm making the analogy, like these people are born man or woman, and then they go through life and they switch it. Whereas my mother was born with this name, and she went and changed her name to this.
Legally changed her name.
I don't refer to her or recognize her as that.
Okay.
So when it comes to these people who do that, I have a hard time saying, what you are now. I'm not going to refer to your gender.
Tommy is still Tommy. I don't care if you Tanisha now. You still Tommy.
That's how I look at you. If you want to be called something or referred to as something, I'm just going to refer to you as you. I may not say this new name. I may not say your new gender. I may speak to you in a manner in which I don't have to say your name or gender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be upset if I was dating or, you know, on a date or whatever with somebody who is a man now, but they used to be a woman.
Oh my God, I'd be livid.
I would be livid. I would be livid.
I'm going to jail.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it's YouTube and I got my own opinion that I'm entitled to. I never understood the logic, and maybe it's because I can't relate to the lifestyle
Mhm.
for with men, you
Mhm.
know, there's supposed to be a plug and a socket.
Right.
So I can understand, you know, if they find an alternative socket. With women, we just got 2 sockets. We
Mhm.
don't have a plug.
Right.
If you have to fake a plug, why not just go get somebody who has one anyway?
That part right there.
Like, I can't see, and I guess because I can't relate. If I want to be with a man because I like penis, then why am I going to get a girl with a fake penis?
Yeah,
And there's all these guys with real penises. running.
and I can't even deal with
I
the
don't want
just.
her boobs rubbing up against mine.
You look disgusting when you said that.
I'm just saying. But to each his own. I'm not condemning anybody's lifestyle. I feel a way about man boobs. You know, I definitely don't want any girl ones on me.
Look here.
I'm the only one who can wear a bra in the relationship. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't even like when females put my boxers on. I'm like, why are you wearing my boxers? Like,
because
them
jokers is comfortable.
What's the matter with your bloom? Get some bloomers.
No, it's something about that. Like y'all boxers, or even if the t-shirt, if it's his t-shirt, like they t-shirt wear totally different than ours. I don't know why. I mean, maybe because we wear gowns. You know, if we don't need a gown if we got his t-shirt, because it's a substitute. It's the same thing.
Weird thing about me, when a female would put on my t-shirts, I would be disgusted.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And in my brain, my shirt would be stuck with breast prints. And every time I put it on, it would just be breast prints in my shirt.
Oh,
I don't think like that no more, but I used to think like that.
Breast prints and okay, I ain't heard that one.
Yeah. But
that's funny.
I as a man, I could not see not being with a woman. Women are intoxicating. I don't care. I don't care how many heartbreaks I had or whatever. I don't know.
No, I feel you on that, but you know,
if a man wanted to get a sex change, do it. As far as me dating someone who's going through that process, I could not do it. If one of my homeboys came up and said, "Hey, I'm getting a sex change. I'm going from David to Karen."
Mm-hmm.
All right, Karen. If that's how you want to portray yourself now, if that's the type of life you want to live, then I support you 110%.
You would still be cool with Karen though, like normal.
Yeah, we ain't fucking. We still cool.
We not friends no more.
We
really?
Why would I not be his friend because he feel like he wants to be the opposite sex? You still my friend. You still my homeboy who was there with me when I went through my shit or went through tough times, or we had our own struggles as friends.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But because you come to the point in your life now that you want to change your gender, I'm still not going to dismiss you as my friend because you changed your gender.
Mm-hmm.
you still gonna be cool with me regardless because I know that the person inside is still the person inside. Just go change the outside. That don't mean, you know, how our struggles as we came up.
Would the friendship stay the same though? Like
It would
I would think like
change, but it would
we
just
can't go to the club together no more. Cause then
I don't know.
I mean, what club do
we
y'all
could
go
still
to?
go out and kick it, but again, it's not like
club do y'all
I'm
go
trying
to?
to knock you off. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. I'm out kicking it with you, and you know we live in two different lives.
yeah,
But because
still
you
friends, you just
rocking with this team now, now your teammates trying to come at me because nah.
I be using his ass. I'm like, hey man, you see them girls over there?
And wingman.
I know. Goddamn right. I'm sending his ass
no
over
good.
there.
You ain't no good.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we all got our own lives that we have to live while we're here on this plane.
Right.
So again, I'm not looking to date you. I'm not looking to get intimate with you. None of that. You are who you are, and I am who I am, and I'm not gonna stop being your friend because you changed your gender.
I wouldn't
But I
kill
don't
the friendship.
date.
I wouldn't kill the
women.
friendship, but I think I would have to change the interaction somewhat to adjust
Drastic.
for their new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there'll be some adjustments now.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna stop being his friend.
You ain't spending the night.
Hell no.
I ain't crying on your shoulder because
Y'all
you might
can't
try to
share the
put one of them
same
fake
bed.
boobs
Look,
on my
can't sleep
face.
at the foot of the bed no more.
No.
I ain't drinking after you no more.
Not gonna damn sure ain't gonna do that.
Why you ain't drinking after him no more?
Are you serious right now?
Where's the mouth done been?
Listen, if you drinking after her,
Drinking
if
after
you're
who?
drinking after anybody,
Look here. If I'm drinking after
if they done got shit switched up, they got penises in their mouth, just like these chicks got penises in their mouth.
But you
No, I'm
go
not
from
drinking
being
that.
one with the penis to go sucking on penis. No.
Yeah, we're not gonna
I mean,
do that.
what's the difference? Whether it's a he or she that's sucking on penis, they still sucking on
Oh
penis.
my God. No.
You getting too personal. You getting too personal.
I'm getting too personal.
I'm feeling like I'm in crisis
Y'all
right
can't discriminate one way
Just
and
mess
not
with
the
you.
other. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
It's a
let's be
mental
honest
thing
about
for
it.
me.
Like,
It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. You was my homie. You know, we was knocking them down together. Now you get knocked down. And it's like, I can't see you the same way. Like, no. No. I can't see my homie bent over or legs up in the air getting
no, I don't want
pounded.
to see that. I don't
can't.
want to see that. Hell no, I don't want to see that.
Bent over and
I don't even want to hear about it.
Look, let me stop.
But as far as a female wearing my t-shirts, I think that's kind of sexy, especially
It
when
is
she don't
sexy.
have
I'm
any
cool with it
panties
now. Just back then I was retarded. Like, no, you
I
got
like
titty
big
prints in my
balls,
shirt.
I'm sorry. Too much.
He was having a whole moment over there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Y'all hot mess.
.com.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. No. Mm-mm. Anyway.
Yeah, we cool. We're not gonna be cool like that. That's all I'm saying.
We are not cool like that. No. But that's all we have for now.
Okay.
We would like to thank Book of Jennesis for my YouTube cousin for chilling with us.
For sure.
Thank
you so much for coming on with us.
No problem.
Go ahead and subscribe to her channel and tune in with her. You going on this Saturday night?
I am going on this Saturday night. I don't know what we're talking about, but we'll find something to talk about. There's always something to talk about.
Always something to talk about over there. So
yeah, I may tell about some recent experiences that I had. So I don't know.
You have to tune into that.
Oh, I'm intrigued already.
I may tell about some recent experiences.
Sounds interesting.
Yes, it does.
Grown Folks Cafe.
It is.
Party time.
Let the people know where else they can find you other than YouTube.
I don't know. Where else can they find me?
Instagram.
Oh, yeah. You can find me everywhere. I'm like, where else? I don't know where else I'll be. Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms at The Book of Jennesis with the J, Jennesis.
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Are you TikToking too?
I ain't TikToking, but we gonna be TikToking. Like I gotta find the time. Like there's not enough hours in the day. I have to simplify my life a little bit, and then
I feel you.
And then I'm gonna be all over the place.
I feel you. Yeah. But thank y'all for tuning in. What was that?
I said I'm be cutting up in these streets.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Okay.
But thank y'all for tuning in to KingAndEyeLife podcast and our esteemed guest, my YouTube cousin, Book of Jennesis. Again, you can check us out live every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. We're gonna have to start getting more out there with the flow because love you too, poetic justice. So Lex, what you got for the people?
Again, as always, if you guys want to come on to the platform, if you have topic ideas that you want to discuss with us or you want to hear us discuss, please, by all means, send those requests to KingAndEye369@gmail.com. And again, we just appreciate the love and support that we have been receiving, not only from the YouTube community, but the podcast community, and as well as our listeners. So appreciate it.
Any final words, cousin?
I'm going to be back. I hope y'all allow me to come back.
Yes, please come back.
Because I'm going to come back and, I know I'm going to come over here and cut up. I'm going to ask some questions. It's going to have y'all sweating. Yeah. Because we want to know. We got questions.
I know that. Hey, bring them. I bet you're going to ask me about my marriage history.
Listen, we're gonna have to talk about these side chicks and how, we need details.
Oh, Lord.
We need details, how you navigate that. Like, how you keep the rotation in balance. That's what I want to know. But
yeah, we can do that one day.
Another show.
Yes, it is. That's a whole nother, that's a show in itself. Yeah. But we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Poetic Justice agrees. She says, I need the deets.
Yeah, we all been knowing each other for about 30 years. We went to school in Germany.
See, yeah.
I wasn't as bad back in high school, but I was no knucklehead. That was my precursor to the.
We need the deets. So these ladies, give us the details so we know what to look out for when we see these signs. Okay, yeah. Soul Toucher said he did this, and yeah. She said lies.
I'm just saying. Look, I learned all I learned from women.
I don't know about that.
All right.
I don't know about it. We're going to come back and talk about that.
Yes, we are. We'll check y'all on the next one.